Oregon State University.
No.
Yes, we are.
Okay, we're live now. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome,
Hello,
returning
my
viewers
fellow
and new
friends.
viewers and YouTube viewers in the future. Welcome to Toree game
Hello,
time.
future people. We're from the distant land called the past.
And hello,
Hey, also,
the funky creatures
I
that
showed this
reside
briefly
in
at
the
the.
shadows
I showed this
of
briefly
our
at the.
recording studio.
Ah!
in
Stop!
Oregon State
Stop! I'm trying to talk.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk. Yeah, I am trying to talk to.
Yeah, but you're talking
But go
nonsense.
on.
Anyway, I showed this at the end of last time I streamed from the Switch. But look, there's my new me. Everybody, I like it a lot.
It is quite adorable.
I'm cute.
You're having some me time.
Anyway, yeah, let's just
I
jump right in,
appreciate
shall
the
we?
wordplay.
I tried to make it match my current look more.
Your current art style and aesthetic. It
Yeah.
looks
Correct,
quite
go
good.
ahead, like-
So anyway, we're going to be playing Toree 3D, which
Did Tori get the ice cream stolen again?
which is the
The Grim Reaper stole Tori's ice cream again.
Toree.
What are you laughing about, Beth?
Toree.
You're laughing in the way where you're acting like you just said something like really, like you got me good, like you pranked me and I didn't notice.
Toree 3D. I can't do it. I can't do it.
This is Tori 2, not Tori 3D.
I'm excited. Toree.
Biz, what is wrong?
I'm in pain. I'm in pain.
Biz, this is a heck of a way to start the stream.
I need to go. I can't do this. I can't
Biz,
do this.
what have you done to yourself? I don't even understand. What happened to
What's
Biz?
happening?
I don't know.
What's happening?
What?
What the
What just happened? They literally left the
Good
call, chat.
question.
Is there anything over here? A secret, perhaps?
This got yeeted.
Oh,
They
this just
laughed
keeps going.
themselves into another dimension.
Yeah, and I don't even know why. I don't know what was so funny. I didn't understand. They're literally gone now, chat. They left the call.
Yeah, they laughed themselves into another dimension.
What the
That
heck?
doesn't make sense of it.
Oops. Not getting it right to begin with on this game. You gotta jump through that. It makes sense.
God, I really wish
Oh, there you are.
I wish I
Why?
could make a game that's as fundamentally good as Toree. Like, it's just basics, but it's really good basics. Like, it's
It
good
really
movement.
is.
Yeah, and the animation sells everything so well.
Okay, Bit, so what
Oh,
happened?
really?
What the heck was that?
Flashy.
What?
Why did you... What happened? Why did you laugh yourself off the stream?
Like,
Yeah,
do you
we
think you
need to
really
know.
want answers?
Yes, I
You
do.
laughed
Everybody's
yourself
confused.
into another dimension. We need to know what that was.
Everyone's
I was-
confused and concerned for
Oh,
your
I was
health.
con-
We need
So
explanation.
I was planning on doing the entire stream in a faux American accent, right?
Yeah.
I was
Why?
about to say, this is Toree 2. 1 second. This is Toree 2, a game sponsored by the. I can't say. I don't know
Okay,
why.
well, quit trying to say it.
This game is sponsored by the Oregon Department of the Arts. I don't know why.
Is that even a thing that exists?
I don't know.
That's it.
The Oregon
That's
Department of
what made you laugh
Transportation.
into another dimension.
Yeah, just because I couldn't
Oh,
get
these
it out.
are good things. You actually
It's
want
like-
to
What
touch those.
dimension did you end up in?
The pizza dimension.
I did not end up in the goddamn pizza dimension.
But there's a portal to that in Oregon, right?
I ended up in the back rooms. That's why it took me so long to get here.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Good job getting out. Did you
I
have to do
know.
the weird Pac-Man level?
Oh no! I figured out.
I missed
a
one
skip.
star. Wow, I'm really peeved about that, actually.
It's
figured
really
out
funny
skip.
watching Elena avoid the green things. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Wow, you're really delayed.
Shan has really rumbled me and
Oh, yeah?
expressed the truth
Yeah,
of
I
my
did that
being.
like 2 minutes ago.
Oh.
Shan correctly points out that I am secretly American. And this
Alright,
entire
maybe
time
I'm-
I've only been pretending
Maybe I'm
to be
updated
Welsh.
now. I'm just now seeing you click on Palm Tree Paradise and enter it.
That's still pretty delayed, but that's better.
Wow.
You know, I don't think I could do an entire stream in a voice because like I talk slower when
Yeah,
I
I've been
do a
thinking
voice.
about that. I was gonna mention that on my during a Resident Evil stream because I've been thinking about it. But you know a lot of those VTubers. I've mentioned before. I noticed they seem to struggle sometimes to say like really fast or really repetitive sounds. And I was like, they can't just be some kind of cultural thing, right? That doesn't make any sense. Or like some sort of language thing. Then I
I'm just
realized
catching up.
that they're actually all doing voices. None of them are talking
Yeah.
in their natural voice.
Right.
And so I'm like, oh, well, that would explain why they have trouble like doing certain things. 'Cause sometimes it's hard to say things while maintaining a voice.
Speaking of voices, last night I was playing Hey Ice King, Why'd You Steal Our Garbage? And I was trying to do impressions of the various characters' dialogue, and I couldn't do Ice King, but I was trying forever. And it was really funny.
Ice King's really difficult. Also,
He
by the
is.
way, Chroma, it
Also,
was
like
Dan-
half the characters were just my voice. Like Finn was just my voice. Marceline was just my voice.
wait, what do you mean, Polaris Dan Green? All I know is 4Kids Dan Green, who does the
There's a big
who was a
octopus
Yu-Gi-Oh
or
voice.
squid, actually.
Because I was about to say, when I think American, I think 4Kids Entertainment.
Oops.
Not because they actually represent America, but because it feels like they represent, like, the meme version of America, symbolically.
So I read that they said that their point of this game, by the way, was they wanted to do some
Same
very
Dan Green,
different.
cool.
They wanted to do some very different level themes than the first Toree had.
Yeah, I like the level themes in this one. Have you played this? Have you played through Toree 2 yet, Bis?
No,
This is my first impressions of the game.
because I've been at work.
There's a particular level I think you'll like.
Also, by the way, I've looked in chat and I appreciate the concern there was for me earlier.
But yeah, I often with those, well, not often, but sometimes with those VTubers, like the Hololive ones, you'll hear them slip into their natural voice, which just, you know,
Yeah.
sounds more like a normal person's voice.
It seems like they often pitch up a ton.
Yeah, they're trying to make themselves
They're doing
sound actually
anime
cutesy.
voice to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow, look at this Toree 3D level. It's basically just a straight line, but the line curves. Is this a 2D game? Mario
What?
3D Land.
Wait a minute, are you taking the piss out of me?
Maybe. I'm taking the piss out of everybody.
This game has full analog control, so it can never truly imitate a 2D game like 3D Land and World do.
Well,
It's different, Bis.
3D World
It's
now
different.
has analog control, right?
Ooh, the stage
Oh.
looks nice. I like it. Go on.
It's basically 8 directional, but like you can at some like particular angles. It's like really aggressive direction snapping basically to
I
the
think you need
8,
to increase the camera
directions.
sensitivity in this.
and there are like small areas of the control stick where
Some-
you can get other angles, but mostly that's it.
The one thing I wish that this game would do is when there's sharp corners, I wish it would automatically turn the camera. Or I wish there was a button to snap the camera to point directly forward.
There is
Oh, there
left
is?
trigger. Yeah, left trigger.
Oh, left trigger. Okay, well, that's that complaint gone then.
Maybe I should just add that to. Well, I'm not working on Strangers anymore. I'm never gonna finish.
I just
it.
like the.
But if I do it
in 3D
again,
platformers,
I'll add a snap button.
I either want it to automatically move the camera for me when I go around a corner, or just the snap button. Both are good.
People
Honestly,
I thought
having
people did.
played having played both a lot of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3D, I think having just a button to snap the camera behind you can be like, that can be your camera system. Like, you don't
Yeah.
always need to have like,
Yeah, I don't mind it.
analog camera control. Like, that, they can just be
Toree's
the
wearing
entire
a cowboy hat in the lava level for some reason.
Because I never had camera issues or felt burdened by the camera controls, despite just having one button to control the camera with.
How's game volume, by the way? It looks like it might be a tad loud.
It's interesting that Elena multiple times has asked for games to just automatically turn the camera. Because I remember the days when that was something everybody complained about with the Sonic Adventure games.
Tank controls?
Really? I prefer it doing that.
Yeah, but then people are like, I turn to the right, but then the camera rotates it to the right.
Yeah,
so
but when it does that, it's because
way.
it's now turning to look at exactly where you're supposed to go. And so you see what's coming.
Yeah, but then you overcorrect and you fall on a pin night.
Yeah, but in games like that, I tend to not move the camera most of the time. Because you don't need to.
Right.
So, like...
Shan is a duck. A duck. A duck. Shan is a duck.
I guess they really don't like the idea of not having control over the camera for some reason.
Wait, are we talking about what I was talking about? No, they were just annoyed because they were like, well, how am I supposed to know when the camera will turn? If it does it automatically.
Well, then don't turn it unless you need to.
No, I don't think you understand. They're saying... They would say that basically the camera turning would make it impossible to control the character. Because if you're holding... Because if you need to turn right, you turn right. But then the camera rotates usually right, so now you're pointing backwards from where you were before.
But...
I know, I'm just saying what people said!
I'm not making sense of this.
Well, you engage a brain blast, Elena.
Chromater said something very based in chat.
Games should all have strictly fixed camera angles in pre-rendered environments. All of them are very subject.
Yep. Based.
Oh!
Thank you, Chroma.
Based on what?
Good question. I'm not sure. We should ask Chroma. Chroma, what's that based on?
Based like a turkey. You got the opinion, you slaver it in some juice, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense, like turkey.
Basically, I'm baby. Wow, I did the exact same thing again.
She's a baka.
No! I don't smell.
I smell
no,
like a baka.
I don't smell.
A lane butterfly. I can't do it.
Sorry, I haven't been reading the chat very much, by the way. I've just been very focused playing this game.
Barium-based life form.
Barium.
I don't get it.
No! That's how it's pronounced, barium. You know, like the joke. What do you do? What do you do with a dead chemist? You bury him.
Oh.
I'm going to bed anyway. So basically, I'm monkey. Monkey. You know, I always hate. You know what? Okay, you know one of a legitimate criticism of game reviewers, all of them, right?
Yeah.
You're reviewing game reviewers?
They all say simian. All of them say simian.
Oh.
Every single one of them says the word simian. It makes me so angry. It's like, we
you know
get
what's
it.
my criticism of game reviewers?
What?
I still haven't gotten over Game Explain's review of Battle for Bikini Bottom, where
you were talking about that the other day, weren't you?
They call the controls loose and imprecise, and they're like, I kept slipping off platforms into the abyss when the game has no fucking momentum, and I'll fucking fight you on that every day. It literally just doesn't. That's a fact. Like, this isn't even like a subjective thing. There is no slipping in this game. There's no momentum.
Yeah.
I just needed
so were they misdiagnosing thing?
Yeah,
I think so, yeah, because there was a big issue with the control stick on the Switch version at launch. And the only thing I can imagine is that they must have like been playing the game and had no idea what the problem was, and they were just like
Gamer
SpongeBob
words.
must be slippery when he's not at all. But I guess that's all they could come up with to explain it.
Yeah, these are.
Because they're a fucking game
That's the-
reviewer and they don't
That's
know
the only
what
game
games
reviewer terminology they have at their disposal.
Slippery.
All games
Imprecise.
are all either slippery, or they're what's the other one? Fidgety? No, there's one
Floaty.
other one. Oh, it's all either floats. No. There's a word for like when something does something too fast that they use.
I don't know.
Twitch.
Twitchy. It's always just twitchy and slippery. Just mean bad. Tight means good.
Yeah.
Like as if they're talking about.
I will
mind.
never know what tight controls means because it means nothing.
They're using the same. They're using the
It
same.
just means they like it.
Oh my god, they're using the same terminology that you might use for.
Of
I would have thought that tight controls.
Is this a coincidence? or have I stumbled on something here?
Wait, hold on. Who the fuck is complaining that a vagina is slippery?
I don't know.
Floaty.
Or no, I was thinking more like loose versus.
Oh, okay. I think
versus tight
maybe the
controls.
idea is that like if you view the control as a system, the tighter one has everything better
Hi, Peter
calibrated, I guess. And looser just means worse calibrated, I guess. Maybe. Is
Oh my
the
god!
idea.
What does that
my god.
mean?
Shan, you've just written an excerpt from a review for Monkey Ball. Simian character, tight controls.
Tight control.
No, it has to be a titular simian.
The titular simian character.
The titular eponymous
Tight control.
simian character who controls tightly.
Instead of character, they would say protagonist.
Oh my god, the titular eponymous protagonist!
Simian protagonist.
Simian.
Solid Plain Zone is here to say that they love Toree so much.
Oh, Toree's great. It's like
so.
one of the best new franchises.
Sparkle
But like, okay,
Park.
so, well, it's not really a franchise, it's a series.
Sparkle.
But anyway,
Sparkle Spark.
my issue with words like
Thank you
titular
for
and
correcting
simian...
yourself because I hate the word franchise.
The titular
Okay.
bird. Toree.
The reason I hate these words is because they're words
The titular
nobody uses.
avian protagonist, Toree.
It's just a word you use to try and look like a game reviewer. Like, look
Yeah.
at me, I have an English
Dude.
degree. I know the same 5 fancy words every other one does.
Yeah, and if you say tight controls, game reviewer, that your credibility goes up.
I used to write game reviews, did you know?
Oh...
I had to get.
Oh, yeah.
I used to get
Elena,
3DS
I'm sorry.
games for free and review them.
I'm sorry, Elena. I don't sleep in the same house as game reviewers.
I don't think I wrote that way though.
No, it's too bad you're a game reviewer. I can't trust you.
No.
My character
I used
arc
to
for this
write,
movie is that I learned to tolerate game reviewers.
I just remember that at first
On
they
the
were
flip
like,
side, I want to acknowledge that I feel like a lot of like current animosity toward game reviewers stems from that one time that person like played
The Cuphead thing?
couldn't get past the Cuphead thing where they couldn't get past the first bit in Cuphead, and honestly like
I remember animosity
it
towards
slightly
game.
pisses me off that everyone hates that person because I think like my understanding is that they were just like
They're trying to do a bit.
put in
Well,
a
that's a
no
weird thing.
They were just like put in
It
a
just
weird
appeared.
position reviewing it.
Wait,
Just a
hold-
weird spooky thing just
Oh god,
appeared
it's been a
randomly.
long time.
hold
But
the
I think it was
fucking
like the
phone.
publication just like sent someone who doesn't even play
Oh,
games or
no.
something. I don't know.
Oh my god! Oh, well, that is actually kinda
Adam said
creepy.
that scared me.
I didn't even realize
Oh,
that Salad Plain Zone was a reference to that. I'm a fake
reference to
fucking
what?
Sonic fan. the beta name for Palm Tree Panic from Sonic CD was originally called
Oh.
Salad Plain Zone.
Oh my god. Also, just the reason I wanted to mention that was because like people took that really far and it pissed me off.
Yeah, definitely. I was gonna say, I think a lot of it there was a lot of distrust of game developers that the thing's still over there. That started when IGN did the 7.8 out of 10 too much water. I remember that's the first time I remember people really making fun of game developers.
I don't know much about
you mean reviewers.
Yeah, reviewers, sorry.
Was that like were people upset about that?
Yeah, they got made fun of for that incessantly for like years.
Were people like saying that I mean, but what I mean is like, were people saying the review was like too much praise or too little praise? Or well, I guess it would be too little, but
yeah,
like
they thought that the review should have praised the game more, and they thought that criticizing it for the water was silly.
That's like really funny to me because everyone hates Pokemon now.
No, hold on. I think the IGN review, the problem is that they do an end card with bullet points, right? And I think that they set themselves up for failure doing that because it's basically it's just that's all people will share is the shitty summary at the end.
Right.
Like, a load of people do say that Gen 3 has too many water sections with too homogenous a group of Pokemon on them. Because every water section has the same small pool. And, like, it's the same looking terrain, the same looking fucking music. So it's like a legitimate thing. You know what the actually bad IGN review is, though?
What?
Sonic fucking Unleashed.
Of course.
Sonic Unleashed, which they rated lower than 06 somehow.
Sonic fans have different reasons to hate game. Why do I keep saying developers? Game reviewers than other people do. They have some unique reasons for not liking game reviews.
I think that at this point, like,
I think my problem with them is just the way that people often use them as the end-all be-all for the value of a game, is how its reviews were.
I think also it's like the fact that like most of them, it's like you'll go to a website and this website has its scores for all these games, right? But like the website isn't a unified front. It's a load of individual reviewers.
Yeah, exactly.
If you knew the reviewers intimately, you could probably go, "Oh yeah, fucking Bob Davidson didn't." Like,
I always appreciate
that makes sense.
I always appreciated reviews that did it from the perspective of, or who made it very clear that it was their personal opinions, and also tried to think about what people would think if they had different preferences.
Yeah, 100%.
I always appreciate that with reviews.
When like
the heck is this skull thing?
It's like frustrating.
That's how I always tried to write my reviews. Was I always tried to be like, well, if you like this thing, then maybe you'll like the game better than I did. That kind of thing, you know.
For me, it's like frustrating every time any licensed game gets reviewed because I think people don't understand like how to. Like, they're not the same as AAA games, and they're not the same as indie games, and I think people don't understand that, and a lot of the time, they're like, why isn't this like this other AAA game? Like once again, when Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated came out, it was like really funny hearing somebody be like, why isn't this like the Crash remakes?
Yeah,
I think that was also in the Game Explain review, but I can't remember.
Tried not to. I think on the review site I was on, we tried not to. We at least tried to de-emphasize the score. I know a lot of reviewers are like, we don't give like scores because that's then what people only look at. But then also on the other hand, they want to be on Metacritic so that they get more, because people go there to get the reviews, and so they want to be there to get the clicks and the views.
Shan,
and you have to have a
honest,
score to get on there, so.
Like I get that that's probably what's intended, Shan. But like I think my issue as well is like I think that like what is intuitive also like I think that like if people only focus on what's intuitive, then number one you limit what kind of games can be made.
Different things are intuitive to different people as well.
Yeah. And it's like, and there's a lot of stuff relating to genre as well, like in some genres, certain things would feel bad and in others they don't. Like, I really bounced hard off Monster Hunter Tri, because I hadn't played anything in a genre similar to it before. So
Right.
just little
Yeah, I couldn't
things
get
that
very into that game either.
Everything's got like major end lag, and your movement feels very restricted.
and you can walk through the corpses of the dinosaurs, and I was like, this is so reasonable. I was like very young at the time.
Oh, I see.
I just felt morally opposed to what the game was having me do.
That's Chroma says that tight always reads to them as requiring precise or specific inputs. I feel the opposite, like maybe the opposite, because I always felt that tight was meant to be, and I think it's not often used this way, but I always felt like the term tight controls makes the most sense if you're talking about like you push the button and you're instantly off in full speed in one direction, and it's no momentum. Like no momentum.
I'm gonna go with the word digital for this.
Okay. That has a slightly uncomfortable overlap with like digital input method type stuff, but I'll allow it.
No, what do you mean digital input method stuff? Give me an example of what that means.
Well, no, like if you use a D-pad, a game can like, you can have like varying movement speeds in a game with a D-pad, right?
Yeah.
And that's digital input. Or you could use an analog stick to play a game where you just push the direction and you're instantly going.
So Playing Zone says tight controls, pants.
Well, at that point, the problem is that people conflate controls with character movement. It's like input and the thing that actually happens in the game are not the same thing.
Right, exactly.
So it's like, yeah. So it's like I would say that it would be like, I guess when I say controls, I'm usually talking more about player movement. And then like
wait, what?
Yeah, because that's what most people mean it to mean most of the time. Except
people say controls when they actually mean
movement.
movement.
Yeah, but they're wrong.
Yeah, they're wrong, but also
controls
it's like...
are the buttons you press and the sticks you push.
Well, this is the reason why I don't like the word controls, because we can't even fucking agree on what it means. It's just nonsense. It's
okay, but if you go into the pause menu of a game, and you go to the settings, and there's an option called controls, what do you think that does?
It makes it
Wait, what
so
is that green thing? What the heck is that
it...
thing? Look at that! Look at the green guy with the nose over there. Who is that? Who is this man?
Could you imagine a platformer where the controls in the menu actually just change the fundamental properties of the game?
God damn it!
It's so funny! What the fuck is that creature? Is that Kakarot? It's Kakarot! Is that fucking Kakarot?
No, it can't be.
Oh my god, no, Elena, that's Kakarot. It's definitely...
I thought that looked different. Did Kakarot have a round nose? I'm
watching in 480p, and I've decided this is Kakarot.
Oh.
You cannot prove me wrong.
He's gonna look like a green smudge to you at that resolution. I don't think you can determine who that is.
Anyway, long story short, I think we need to talk about. I think we need to just divide this into player movement. Buttons. They call it buttons. That's the word. Buttons.
It kind of looks like Yoshi. Kind of looks like a combination between Yoshi and Olimar.
Menu, and there's a setting called controls. You know what that is.
If I make a menu for that in Twinkle Gift, it's just gonna be called buttons with a Z.
You're going to hell.
Good, and I'm dragging you down with me.
If you can go out and meet that character, see them if you get the bat character. Oh, good thinking, Shan.
Also, like, for licensed games, usually to figure out if they're actually good, I usually don't listen to reviewers, because they're often, like, just being negative. I look for people that actually have something positive to say, because if you have something positive to say, then I feel like you're more likely to be fair about a licensed game. Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's like a CD out there.
Because I feel like most reviewers just don't give them a fair shot.
It looks like they put more thought into the extra characters in this game, because it looks like there's some stuff that is specific to the flying character.
Wow, it's fucking Sonic 3 and Knuckles again. They've done it.
Ash asks, if controls mean buttons, what is a tight control? It is nothing.
Okay, Shan
Cast
just
that
above.
out of your mind. It doesn't exist. There are no tight controls.
No, I disagree, because Shan just said this game has tight buttons. I was about to say that I think that a tight button would be like a button that's a bit malleable, and before you press it, it like clenches inward, it like compresses, and the surface wrinkles.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Like,
that's something you can program into the software.
The button shrivels as you go to press.
Yeah. But that's a specific feature of this game. If you play another game, the button doesn't do that.
I'm telling you, controls are just vaginas.
Oh, Ash apparently has a tight butt and has mentioned this in chat.
Wow, thanks, Ash.
I just want to make sure the VOD viewers knew this. I feel like it needs to be known so that they can keep up to date with the FlutterBug community lore.
You're
Hey,
gonna put that on the wiki?
Can you put tight control in your game for me?
Cassie, I am going to
have a boss fight or
make
something?
it loose. I am making everything loose.
What does that mean?
When you press directly right on the control stick,
You go left.
Christmas person randomly goes anywhere within 90 degrees of that direction.
That's a great idea.
What the heck is this? I guess there is a boss fight in this game.
Oh shit, Toree's gonna fucking kick their goddamn ass!
I don't know how, oh,
What are
I
you
see.
What is Ash saying? Ash says, I think tight controls are a myth with analog sticks, to be honest, but that's another matter. The only tight controls are with your
Oops.
actual finger or mouse. Analog stick controls are often so loose.
Ah!
Ash, what? Help, what is this?
Oh my god, look! It's fucking knights!
Into Bleams.
Yeah, welcome to the final fucking boss, bitch.
It's the knight.
Can,
it's
a game,
knights.
can the boss be truly be final if it's also the only boss?
Yeah.
Like, can you play
how to
Reality
avoid
Scheme in
these.
another tab so that we get
Yeah.
that? Oh, okay.
This game has its own music.
Hot take, I like analog sticks greatly. They make me very happy.
Me
Yeah.
too. This
But the-
analog stick
I remember
slander will
being-
not be accepted.
I remember being very
I
excited.
understand that they're not the greatest input method for aiming, but other than that, they're pretty spice. I won't
remember-
take this
I remember
slander.
being excited when I got the 3DS because it was my first game console with analog controls.
Ash really be here in
Oh.
chat
With
saying that
analog
analog.
sticks.
Ash really be here in chat saying that analog sticks are fucking loose. And here I am playing Sonic Adventure 2 like, hey buddy.
I had never gotten to experience analog sticks before the 3DS.
I would say that joysticks do bring me joy, in fact. I think...
Do
I think
Joy-Cons
I
bring
would-
you joy?
No, they make me very fucking angry. I would
Or
rather
just
have a
hitting
Joy
this guy in
Pro
the
than a
face.
Joy-Con.
Ha ha ha.
Ash, why would the hitboxes on obstacles only affect you if you're using a joystick and not like a mouse or something? I do not understand.
Yeah, nobody likes Joy. I hope that lawsuit works
Ta-da.
out and Nintendo has to pay $1 quadrillion and insert. What's the fucking? One sec. What's the current CEO of Nintendo? CEO of Nintendo.
Ooh, I got an
Googling
S
it.
rank for this level.
I hope Shuntaro Furukawa literally shits in front of everybody in panic.
Honestly, I have a soft spot for Joy-Cons.
Doug Bowser is just Nintendo of America.
I like Joy-Cons better when they were just a source of dildo jokes.
Oh,
For like 5 minutes after the Switch was
Ash is
unveiled.
saying that analog sticks drift a ton, but like that's
I've never
it
experienced
depends
that
on the
outside of
it depends on the
Joy-Cons.
controller you're using.
Yeah, outside
Depends-
of Joy-Cons and third-party analog sticks, I've never experienced drift. Oh look, we've become friends with the villain this time.
What is this fucking Undertale? Oh, this is nice! This game is so nice!
Professional players of Trackmania use analog sticks for the precision that they give.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like there were a lot of sections in this game where there was a lot of boosters making you go very fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I actually don't think I like the look of that.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite thing either, but I like this game.
It feels like the game is desperate to provide some excitement, but only conditionally.
Oh.
That being said, Toree's a good. I'm not.
I haven't experienced drift from the Joy-Cons in a long time, though, so I had it happen on like 3 of mine, and then I got them sent into Nintendo, and then they didn't drift anymore, and then the new ones I have, knock on wood, don't drift, so I guess I've been lucky.
Also,
Anyway, that's Toree 2. Now we're gonna look at what they added to Toree 3D.
I find it really cute that you can skip the ending cutscene in Toree 2, but not the credits.
Hmm.
So this has been updated with new levels.
Yes.
Um,
Also, Sasha, I don't know if you've done this yet, but you should get all the CD collectibles in Toree 2, because I think you'll really like what you get when you do that.
I guess I kind of see what Ash is getting at. Like, buttons, it's like more consistent between controllers. But like, Ash, I don't know. I think that like the issue, like,
I mean,
unless you're
everybody's
like a
equipment
pro.
is different when it just comes to like your hand-eye coordination.
I do think that like unless you're like
Ducktown
like a speedrunner or a professional Smash player, usually the
Or a
variations
Trackmania
between
player.
yeah, then usually it's like I don't know. Or if you're playing Sonic Adventure on off-brand Dreamcast controllers, because that game has a weird thing where it's like if you buy a third-party controller, the game can recognize inputs that are outside the range of a normal controller.
Oh
And
boy.
So you can just go faster than you're supposed to be able to.
On diagonals?
Yeah.
That's great. That's
I think,
so funny.
I think the analog stick for Trackmania makes sense because like the steering that you want to do is often really precise, and there's a lot of inputs that can come from the analog stick, much more than you can get just from like tapping the arrow keys on the keyboard.
Isn't it weird to think that you're a chicken and the enemies here are all ducks? Really makes you think.
Also, well, there's actually some tracks in Trackmania where professional players actually do opt to use arrow keys instead. It's kind of interesting.
Paul Calibur sounds very vaguely like some kind of innuendo, maybe.
But generally they use the analog stick.
Yeah, I'm afraid, Shan, this game might be anti-duck propaganda.
I watched
You
a
okay,
duck vid- I
Cassie?
watched a classic duck
Yeah.
video last night.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh yeah, Biss, don't let me forget when we get on to Rayman 3, we should show the video from that one train guy.
Oh yeah, we
Remember,
should
I
show
wanted to share that
them.
with everybody.
Maz put that in a server and like didn't tag me, right?
Rude.
But no, listen. But after I like replied to it, they were like, I knew I didn't have to tag you.
Oh, I see.
And apparently they were
Oh, I
originally
missed a
going to
lot of
tag
stars.
it. Originally they were going to tag it saying, "Look, one of Biss's brain cells escaped." It's like so funny to me. Yeah, I did. This is part of me. It's my.
I just said
offshoot.
it was the good timeline, Biss. Like in Biss, like
The
if
me
Biss was
that-
in ideal circumstances, this
the
would be
me
their
that's
life.
happy.
Yeah.
What is the thing that we're talking about?
A video
It's a video where somebody look at a train.
and gets really happy about
Oh, of course.
Yeah, they look at a train. You're gonna love this video, Cassie. You're gonna fucking
Yeah.
adore it. It's a
Is
powerful.
it a baby?
A baby at heart,
Yes.
fully actualized Biss. I like to imagine that fully
Oh!
actualized.
Oh,
I do like to
wait, I
imagine
lived.
that a fully actualized Biss would be probably a lot more
Huge and
intimidating,
extremely
though.
powerful. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, this feels like if I was like a comic book character, there would be at least 5 different non-canon spin-offs. where I take over the Earth.
Yep.
And one where you take over Mars.
And every single time a writer comes up with it, they think they're really clever. Like, wow, I'm really gonna explore a new angle with this beloved character.
I
Why is
really
that the
like
voice?
the angle that both you and Sasha have, where you're just sometimes a villain.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's for very different reasons.
Right.
I think I'm probably like... I don't know. I don't know if I'd agree that I'm a villain. I simply just know better than everybody, and I need to have all of the agency in regards to the world's future.
Oh, those enemies are here.
Right. That's what a villain would say.
Ah, the moving buildings are going to kill me. Actually, the duck killed me.
Or a hero who's just correct.
What?
You know, you can put it like that if you decide.
I think I'm actually God. Basically, that's what.
Basically, I'm God.
Basically, I'm God.
God.
Eat your arms.
Wait.
Oh, I saw this.
Congratulations.
I am
I saw
God.
this movie
Come on,
earlier
you know.
today with my family. Like, I missed the first, 10 minutes or so, but it was wild. Because there was this guy, right, who,
What movie was this?
I think it was called, Walter or something? I don't know. I came downstairs, my family was watching it, so I watched it with them. And I missed, the first 10 minutes. But there was this guy who was, the son of God, right? And he, knew, who was going to heaven and who was going to hell. And every time he saw somebody, he would say heaven or hell, just out loud.
Oh, rude.
Yeah, he would just say it.
Well, I already missed a lot of stars, so I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna go for the goal here. If you'll mind.
Sasha, I'd be careful if I were you. If you're a former villain turned hero, then eventually you're gonna become the Piccolo eventually.
I thought you were gonna say you're gonna become a pickle.
Oh wait, no, actually wait, if you're the first one, you're gonna be the Yamcha. Maybe. Actually, Yamcha's never really a villain, just an obstacle. Yeah, you're gonna become the Piccolo.
Was Yamcha the one that has the death pose? That's funny.
Yeah, he's the one who's crumpled in a crater.
That means we're gonna have to draw Sasha in that pose.
But I don't know, actually I think it's Piccolo I'm thinking of. Because you have the villain turned friend, the first one, which is
Mama Goes to Town is a level? Okay.
Slash the Knuckles. And then later on you get a much edgier villain who then becomes a rival. So you have the Shadow / Vegeta.
I'm gonna spend exactly an hour on this, by the way, so that we have an hour for Raymond.
So yeah, you have that guy who just tells people whether they're going to heaven or hell, just like that. He just says it as he's walking by people.
It's really bizarre really and rude.
Yeah, and also
strange.
he works at a movie theater and he takes people's tickets and stuff, right? And it's weird that he wasn't fired.
Because he does that?
He does that, yeah.
Maybe people think it's quirky.
There's this weird, really funny asshole guy at the movie theater who's just the biggest asshole, and he looks like he's from the 50s because he has this big pompadour. And then
He's
the
from
guy
Retroville.
starts. The guy runs into this one dude who's hey, I'm dead, but I haven't been told where I'm supposed to go yet. It's been 10 years. You gotta tell me where I need to go.
I'm a ghost? Well, what the heck happened to the skybox here?
So then the main character goes to a therapist, right? And his therapist is this gigantic asshole.
Oh.
For some reason. He's just really mean and horrible and doesn't help at all. So then, over the course of the movie, we find out that the guy he keeps seeing who's hey, it's been 10 years, where am I supposed to go? This guy is let me see if I can untangle this web. So, okay, his dad died 10 years ago, right? the main character's dad, and his dad was having an affair with the nurse at the hospital that he was being treated at before he died. And that nurse's husband is the guy that this guy meets, who's like, hey, I've been dead for 10 years, where am I supposed to go? So he's this ghosty guy, right? And over the course of the film, we find out that that's who that guy is. And then, so main character goes to therapy again, right? And his therapist is just being this weird asshole still. But then he just has this epiphany where he's like, oh shit, all of my life is just coping mechanisms, and actually the weird guy that's dead that I met isn't real, and I'm just hallucinating that. And I'm not the son of God. I've just been telling people they're going to heaven or hell for years. So, like, it turns out all of that was just stuff he made up to cope with his dad's death.
Okay.
And then he's instantly fine after that. He's just like, wow.
Of course, because it's a
This
movie.
is great. I figured out my life now. Everything's all good. And then he goes and flirts with his love interest at the movie theater, and that's the end of the movie.
Wait, can I ask a question? Okay, can I be real for a second?
Oh yeah, and he also says "fuck you" to the weird asshole pompadour guy at the movie theater.
Okay, I'm gonna be real. I zoned out at the beginning of this, right? I came back in the middle and just thought you were talking about a real person.
No.
Wow! Wow, imagine just a guy being like, hell. He's so funny. I'm like, wow, this is fun. Where does Cassie know this asshole from?
It's like wild too, because after he has that epiphany in the middle of therapy, his therapist is like, exactly, you figured it
It's
out.
spooky
All
time.
you needed to do
Look, Chad,
was
it's spooky
finally
time in this
grieve.
game now.
All you needed to do was finally grieve. So he goes home and cries, and that's him grieving, and then he's fine after that. And his therapist, when he tells him that, he has this like pleased look on his face, like
This is a Halloween game, actually.
It's like, another job done. I've helped another person figure out their mental health issues.
Well,
This kind
you
of-
know what?
When you mention
know
the
what?
ghost part,
He's just a weird asshole the whole movie.
When
It's so funny.
mention the ghost part, now I'm just thinking of the movie Ghost. You ever seen that one? Is anybody here familiar with that movie?
I actually liked the movie. It was just so weird and funny at points.
I love how
It
it
just had
subscribes
the
to
Reminds me-
That
That reminds me of the weird
Whatever.
movie with Will Ferrell that I watched a while back,
Yeah.
where it turns out that he's just a character being written in a book. But like in real life, remember? Like, I think I told you about it at the time, where like the
I think you did. Yeah.
the author is like a real person who's out there and doesn't realize that she's writing the life of a real person that's just out there. And then it turns out that she was
Right.
planning to write him like dying at the end of the book,
Yeah.
and then like trying to get that to stop. But the funniest part was there's this one guy that he meets that is like also an author, or like just like an English professor at a college or whatever, who then like first of all believes him without much convincing, and like and then second of all reads the manuscript that he gets of like the finished book with the ending, and he's like, this is her greatest work ever, like he like says like, you gotta die because otherwise like she's not gonna have this masterpiece. And it's like, what? Like what?
Oh.
It was it's like, what? Excuse me? Also, speaking of ghosts, I was telling Bis about this the other night. I gotta tell you too, Cassie, and also the chat. We were watching, well, I was mostly I was in the other room listening to it, but it was the $6 Million Man. There's an episode of it, and so you know how the premise of that show is that he was in a plane wreck, right? And to save him, they had to give him the bionics.
Okay.
So the beginning of this episode is just, there's this figure that keeps appearing in places that only he can see, apparently. Like he can't convince anybody else that they're there, but it looks exactly like him. And so then they're like, so they go to this person who's she's into like, what's the word? paranormal stuff, I guess. A parapsychologist, they called her.
Yeah.
And she's like, were you ever clinically dead? And they're like, yeah, he was clinically dead for like 54 seconds. And they're like, oh, so I think this is the ghost of you. This is your own ghost is following you.
Oh,
yeah, they were like,
gosh.
they were like, you were clinically dead, so your spirit left your body and is now back trying to kill you. So
My
that
God.
so that that'll
That's
become
amazing.
one. Yeah, it was the wildest plot.
Also,
You're being
I
haunted
just
by
wanna
the ghost of
mention,
yourself.
There's a point where
Elena, could you try not dying?
I'm trying, okay? It's hard.
Try a bit harder.
This is a difficult level. Also,
You're
I
a
wanted to tell
difficult
everybody
level.
about the being haunted by yourself thing.
Yeah.
What is this Kingdom
Also,
Hearts?
there's a part where like you know how I said like he works at the movie theater and he like, you know, he takes people's tickets and everyone who he takes a ticket from, he tells them whether they're going to heaven or hell. At one point he just like steps aside from the podium and like yells at everyone in the line, "You're all going to hell," and like nobody does anything. It's so weird.
Yeah,
What would
usually
you
people
do?
would sort of be like uncomfortable
I
after
don't
that.
know. Like I figured they would like fire him or something. Like not that I wanted him to be fired, but it was just weird that he wasn't.
You can't fire
Oh, this
him
thing
for
is getting
being
closer.
religious. You can't fire him for being religious. That's not.
Oh yeah, religious freedom, of course.
Uh-oh,
Yeah.
I gotta keep moving. That means I missed some stars, though, unfortunately, but I just got, that ship has sailed.
Could you imagine collecting every star in a level?
Well, I
What
did
the
that
fuck?
on every level except for the first one in Toree 2 just now, and you didn't say anything.
Yeah, because it's not interesting.
Wow. That's how you unlock the other characters, though.
Well,
Chroma says,
I'm
oh
never
god,
gonna-
it moves.
I'm never gonna play as the other characters, then I guess they're just
Oh, yeah, I had
not
a-
playable.
I had another one of those dreams about, like, having, like, extra self things the other night.
What?
It was like, I dreamed that I had a finger that grew back. Like, it got, like, cut off and grew back.
Whoa.
Except for it was weirder than that, because it was like, they were putting the finger, they were like gonna put the finger back on and then realized it hadn't come off yet, and they're like, okay, we gotta cut it off first then. And I was like, wait a minute, what? Wait a minute!
Your medical insurance already paid for the procedure. They can't stop it now.
God.
I don't remember the details, but... And then later on in that dream, there was people walking past our house while I was like taking something out of a thing and walking away with it, and they were like, you're stealing that, and I was like, no, this is my house, and they didn't believe me, and they were like trying to get me arrested for stealing.
You know what fucking happened to
Like,
me
this is
once
my
that
house.
reminds me of?
Yeah.
One time I was leaving my house, right, okay?
Uh-huh.
And my goddamned cat was on the other side of the gate as I was leaving, right?
Oh, I think I remember this story.
So I turned around to say goodbye to the cat or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I walk away from my house a bit, and somebody parks up in front of my house and goes to the gate and goes into my garden, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm trying to walk to the bus stop, which is like within a minute of my house, right? But I have to like turn around and deal with this shit first. So I walk up to them, I'm like, hello, I live here, what's going on? And they were like, oh, I saw you peering into this garden, and there's been a lot of dog kidnappers around lately. So I was wondering whether you were
This is
looking
my
at a dog.
garden. This is my garden, and it's a cat.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's like, I'm almost certain that they just said what they were doing. Like, they were checking for a dog because they're the dog napper. I'm 99% certain. But they had to be
Where and what?
outside my house. That was the
Oh,
second
outside your
story.
house? Wow.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you were talking about like a movie or something, which is really funny because we
That's
just
the
had, like,
opposite.
children
That was
like
the
exactly,
opposite thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow,
I'm on the prowl for my plan to be on the prowl for dog kidnappers, hanging out in places with dogs just to catch them, is raising a lot of questions which I hope would be answered by me looking out for dog kidnappers.
Also, somehow, that plot that I described in $6 Million Man is the wildest one that I've seen so far, despite there being multiple plots involving aliens previously, and also one with Bigfoot who ended up also to be an alien. That's right, they had Bigfoot who was an alien. The villains in $6 Million Man are either disgruntled ex-US government employees or aliens.
It makes sense, doesn't it, Ash? Because, like, if you're a criminal, the crime is, like it's interesting because it's like, I'm here looking for the real criminals. It makes sense to be a thing to think of, because in them, they're the only people thinking of everything in terms of who is a criminal or not. So their justification for not being a criminal would obviously revolve around somebody else being a criminal.
I'm not doing crimes, I'm trying to stop them. I can't be doing a crime, see, I'm trying to stop the crime.
Why do you bring out New Boot Goofin now?
I don't know. This is my silly person voice, I guess.
At some point I need to do a proper, like, design for that stand. Instead of just a green King Crimson.
I'm going to wear some booties today.
It's the original clip. The original phrase.
It looks like reviewers didn't like the movie I was just talking about.
What's the name of that movie?
Yeah. It's just called Walter.
Oh,
It doesn't look like there's much about it on the web. Yeah, I don't like it either. I feel mixed about the movie, but I did like it. I mean, it had funny, weird asshole characters. What more could you want? This weird 50s pompadour guy who just means to everyone.
Did you know also in the $6 Million Man there's also a bionic dog that's a recurring character?
Oh.
Yeah, they later on added, well first there was the spin-off The Bionic Woman, and then in The Bionic Woman there's also a bionic dog that is there.
Bionic baby?
That's always the joke one, is when they could have the bionic baby.
You know, if Elena had allowed me on stream during the Resident Evil thing, I would have done the biggest burp. I had, like, drank an entire Pepsi Max cherry. I was
had
ready
it all
to
put together.
Yeah, and then Elena just fucking didn't let me on Resident Evil for some reason.
Remember the fact that I don't burp.
Yeah, you just go.
Okay, so I'm not going to try to get the stars or anything here for the sake of time. I just want to see. This is the last extra level, so I can get the stars on my own time.
I hate.
Oh wait, look at the anim. I just now noticed this. Look at how there's an animation of the backpack getting the star put into it.
Yeah, I mentioned that to Bis the other night.
Is that new?
That's pretty cool.
I don't think so.
I just never noticed it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can I just say that I hate the idea of a movie that's like about one character and their title is just their boring fucking first name.
I don't like it either.
Pretentious fucking garbage.
I feel like maybe that's part of why the movie didn't do well. Like, it feels a little like low budget and kind of tacky in ways too. And I know reviewers hate that. But like, also like, you don't get anything from that title. You're just like, oh, the main character is called Walter. Thanks. That gives me a lot.
I was gonna say about another thing about the $6 Million Man thing is that it's supposed to be like a government secret that he has the bionics, right?
I thought you were gonna leave it. I hate the idea of a movie.
Yeah. So it's supposed to be like a government secret that he has the bionics, right? They're always trying to like keep it secret. And so whenever somebody like sees him do something that's like impossible, because he's like impossibly strong because of the bionics, he always has to give some excuse. as to how he did that. And my favorite is just when he says that it's because he takes his vitamins.
I would love it. I would fucking love it if there was just a scene where he like picks up a bus and throws it into the sun, and then there's like a little nun next to him, and the nun's like, so he's like,
what was that? That sounded like the teacher from Jimmy Neutron.
So he looks at the nun in the eyes, and is like, he looks at the nun.
Thought about this owl in too long.
Hey, Mrs. Fritz, I'm about to head out.
Okay, he looks at the nun and is like, "Listen, you're asleep and in a coma and
wow.
Bleeding out was the very overwhelmed cry for me conservative gamer choice for deconsistent classes operating late on Wednesday night shift in Holy God ventilated office space. I hate how when I start that I have to finish it. It's such a fucking burden.
True.
Wait, look, there's Toree 2 advertisements. They're advertising the sequel in this game. No.
Something about that feels awfully Dreamcast, that there's like a little DLC for this that just puts billboards for the other one in.
That's true. Sonic Adventure type deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's all the levels of
shit, I don't
2 and the
actually
update.
remember what I was gonna say. God damn it, I'm always like this.
Wait, no, I didn't
was it about the Bionic Man telling them that they're asleep?
No. It wasn't.
The $6 man, says Salad Plain Zone.
I think it's interesting how the $6 billion man, after doing some ridiculous feat of strength, could just take a dump on the floor and it would work. Because then nobody's going to believe that both those things happened. Could you imagine being like, hey,
Salad Plain Zone says go to the first level in Toree 1 and go backwards.
Is that a real tip?
Yeah.
I don't know.
1 second. So there was this guy who hated the Simpsons family with his entire being. He had vowed to make them suffer.
This is Shan's dream, by the way.
He covered the entire mall they were at in deadly chemical goop, and to Bart and Homer he had gotten withering powder onto them, and their toes shriveled and fell.
Well, we did it. There's nothing there. Oh, wait, there's a guy. Wait, there's a skeleton man.
Skeleton man.
Whomst is this?
Skeleton.
What? It did the Wilhelm scream. He fell down into the...
Is that like... What? I've never seen this.
There was something over there. That's incredible.
Goodbye.
Fucking legendary.
It reminds me, I found this really spooky character
we'll
out of bounds in Toree 2, and I was like, oh, that's disturbing.
What did you say, Cassie?
Like, I know there's a lot of spooky characters in Toree, but I found one out of bounds in Toree 2 that was, like, actually pretty scary.
Oh. Oh, that's interesting.
It weirds me out how just part of Toree's brand is that occasionally, like, a spoopy will go, away! Or something. Because, like, it doesn't really feel like it builds up to anything. It just feels
I
like it's just
that about it, actually. I like that they're just there. But
I guess that's a fair point. I can appreciate
totally recommend these games, by the way. Anybody who
doesn't
doesn't have these are only 99 cents each. So
yeah, Toree's awesome.
Totally get them. Also, I want to do this more often.
I hope if they do more Toree, I hope they maybe
mix it up.
Change up. Yeah, mix it up more. Like maybe change up what Toree themselves can do or something.
Hey, wouldn't it be cool if Toree could go fast just naturally instead of just every level being full of 10 million boosters?
That would be cool.
Also,
I did often feel in Toree 2 like I was moving a bit slow.
I wanted to say once again, I updated the panels on Twitch. If you scroll down, there is now a link to merchandise there as well. So.
Oh my god, Elena! I can't believe you're selling things.
Yeah. I gotta self-advertise more. Yeah. If I want to be a good streamer.
And you too can own this incredible 1 billion of a kind Beanbug t-shirt.
If y'all like the Beanbug.
Oh no, doing that voice made my nose hurt. I don't know why. This doesn't make any sense.
If y'all like Beanbug, go check it out. Oh hey, well I'm here on the Switch. Let me look at some of the things that I have saved. I posted this.
A ton of...
I
Rayman
posted this.
There's tons of boosters. What is this? Sonic 4?
I hate my life. You literally interrupted me to read the same message I was.
I
Oh!
I
Yeah, but I
posted.
read it in Sonic's voice, so
I was gonna read it in a generic American voice, which is functionally the
I
same
posted
thing.
this last night. I think this is the singularly coolest
Oh,
thing
yeah.
I've ever done in WarioWare.
It's amazing, Elena. That's like
I was
incredible.
watching it back frame
I'm
by
sure
frame.
it wasn't intentional.
No,
right?
no. I was watching it back frame by frame, and they literally all get flipped on the same frame.
My god.
So apparently that counts to the game.
Truly amazing.
I've got clips of.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Rayman
Cruisin'.
Fan 95 is just Adam, by the way.
Yeah.
Look at all this stuff. All this
You got
transferred
it.
over
I'll
nicely.
try and remember. I'm not always good at remembering
I gotta
things, but I'll
actually
try and
delete a lot of
remember.
these.
I think at some point
What's this
recently,
one?
me and I think it's. I don't know. That's not important.
Saved myself from disaster here. Anyway,
Why is Mario in a cage and being looked at by an ice cream? I mean, a snowman. I don't mean.
oh, that's
I mean a
Mario
snowman.
Golf.
Why is it bad?
That's the final boss of Mario Golf.
Spoilers! You just fucking spoiled the
Oh,
final
you
boss of
asked!
Mario.
You asked, Biz!
No, but everybody, you could have been like, but everybody in fucking chat knows nobody's gonna buy Mario Golf now. You've ruined it.
The story
You've
in this game was
ruined
really
it.
short and
You've
weird.
ruined it. The villain was ice cream all along.
I
Boss.
totally recommend checking that out. It's really weird.
Look,
What is
Elena,
this?
open one of the screenshots of Wario and Waluigi. Please, I need to see them both in their stupid little cowboy outfits.
How about look at Luigi and Donkey Kong merging?
No. Look at Wario, Waluigi, and their cowboy hats, please. It's much more. Elena, go.
Here you go.
Go up. I could not care less that they merge. It is not interesting. I am not engaged. Show me the little fucking cowboy hats now.
Chroma says, now I'll never feel the joy of finding out a generic snowman deserves death on my own. The story mode in this game was
Oh my-
really short. I was surprised at how fast it goes.
Look at these fucking clouds.
And then there's literally nothing else to do in this game other than just play golf. Like, there's nothing else to unlock or goals to work for once you beat the story. There's no side quests, there's nothing. It's sort of like really, like, it's low on content.
Elena, is it possible not to wear a polo in that game?
Nope.
I love how
all polo.
neutral.
Disgusting.
I love how, like, Wario and Waluigi here, right, okay? Their mouths literally cannot not bear teeth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Waluigi is always crouched down. So it feels like there should be something being emoted here, but they feel so neutral regardless.
Yeah.
The best part in the whole game was just this, though.
Shan says, wow, Waluigi is at perfect dick-sucking height for Wario.
Yeah.
Look at this, everybody. This is the best part in the whole game. And the sound. It's like thunder as they approach. They also walked away the same way. I don't think I took a clip of that, though.
Why?
It turned out that in this world, Bowser was like a legendary hero, see? Look, praise be to Bowser. His arrival blessed the land with a great thaw and returned peace to its inhabitants.
Why the fuck is it like?
Also, but in these cutscenes, he's still in his golf uniform. So he's like a legendary hero, but he was in his golf outfit. This game is bonkers, I'm telling you. It's so weird. It also quickly derails. Like, first of all, like at the beginning of the game, it's like, okay, you're a new golfer and you're gonna go in the golf tournaments and you're gonna play against these people who are in the golf club with you, like the resort place, and you're gonna do the tournaments. And then it quickly derails into there's like these legendary beings giving you these powers so you can defeat this Snow King and save Mario and Bowser.
Can I just say that I
It's like,
fucking
what?
love how...
Like it quickly, like like stuff stops happening. Like there's like less interactions you have to do with people. There's like you're not doing golf tournaments anymore. You're just inexplicably playing golf while all of this weird stuff is happening, and it just completely the plot just completely evaporates and changes into this weird nonsense. And it's just the most bonkers thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Amazing.
It's such a
Can
weird game.
Forgot what I was going to say now.
Why did I save this picture? It's just pure. It's just Pioro.
Can I just say that I love that, like, toads of different body types, or, like, giving Mario enemies different outfits, illegal. Not allowed. Not you can't do
Defeat
that.
the great evil.
This
Let's do it.
shit, though. The fucking Golf Bowser hero myth. That's allowed.
Here we go. Great evil's defeated. Anywho, do you want to stick around, Cassie, or do you want to get going while we do Raymond?
I think I'll stick around. I'll probably like wait distracted and probably doing other stuff in the background, but I'll stick around. What are you playing? Which Raymond?
Raymond 3.
Oh, still?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's an epic title. It goes on for a while.
I'm going to turn the stream off for just a minute so that I can switch to 720p mode, and we will be right back. So, see you in just a couple minutes.